To quote the great Aaron Nimzowitsch, he said, "The passed pawn is a criminal who must be kept under lock and key." Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with number 124 in the series Viewers Games. And we also have a big development in the game between myself and the Chess to Impress viewers. But first, let's go to the viewers game. It is the turn of Manish. And Manish says, "I'm a beginner chess player who plays FIDE-rated tournaments and occasionally online. My FIDE ELO is 1180. This game is one of many of my games which I was winning as I felt while playing." Manish felt he was winning during this game, and let's see if that was indeed the case and what happened afterwards. It was played on lead chess in the hourly rapid arena. 10 minutes per player for the whole game, no increment. Manish had a rating of 1662 on lead chess, and his opponent was Ajedrez Picante with a rating of 2231. So almost 600 points more than Manish. Let's see what happened. Manish opened with the d-pawn, d5, bishop f4 and c5. Manish took that pawn, knight got developed, and knight f3 and knight f6. e3, e6, the queen's knight went to d2, and black took back the pawn on c5. Here bishop d3 is a very normal move. Maybe Manish was a bit worried about knight b4, kicking that bishop. He wanted to avoid this line as black is threatening to win the bishop pair this way, which is not a big deal. And that's why Manish in this game played c3 here. At least that's what I think before developing the bishop to d3. Otherwise, I cannot really explain that move very well. Black castled, there goes a bishop to d3 and rook e8. And now black has a threat. Do you see the threat? What if white just castles, which looks like a normal move? If you want to look for yourself, put the video on pause. How does black win a piece here? Yes, it's only move 9, but we already have a threat. It looks like a very normal position. White has just played developing moves, but you always have to be careful. There may be tactics in a position, and in this case there is. e6, e5 is a very nice move. It attacks the bishop, and if you save that bishop, then the e-pawn makes another move, winning a piece because of the fork. So white has to be careful after rook e8, and Manish saw it, and he played e4, stopping the e5, e4 moves from black. But now black has another double attack, which nets him a pawn. And black found it. You would expect a 2200 player to find it. It is queen b6. With a double attack, it's attacking the f2 pawn twice, and it's attacking the b2 pawn. Black wins a pawn. Manish castled. Of course, the f2 pawn is more important to keep than the b2 pawn. And actually, black took on b2, violating the old saying, never take on b2, not even when it's good. e5 from Manish, and queen takes c3, ignoring the threat on the knight and counter-attacking the bishop. This is really a game of attack and counter-attack, as we'll see. I've never seen a game with so many attacking and counter-attacking moves. We'll see them all. Queen b1 was played by Manish, defending the bishop, and he's still attacking the knight. And black plays queen b4, attacking another unprotected piece, which is the bishop on f4, still not saving the knight on f6, counter-attacking another piece. If you take the queen, then there is knight takes b4, and now the counter-attacking is done by the knight on the unprotected bishop on d3. Still white cannot win a piece. Manish did not swap the queens, he took on f6. And now it must be very logical to take the piece on f4 by black. Then there is bishop takes h7 check, that pawn was also hanging, king h8, f takes g7 check, king takes g7 with an extra pawn and a better position for black. Black is a pawn up here. But after e takes f6, black did not take the piece back. he took on b1. And that's a bad move, because after rook a takes b1, white is a piece up. But now black plays e5, and that was black's idea. He wants to win the piece back with the e5, e4 maneuver we saw earlier. But it doesn't work this time, because Manish has the very nice move rook f2 e1, making use of the unprotected position of the rook on e8. Black can now not take the bishop because his rook is hanging. So e takes f4, double question mark, rook takes e8 check, and white is winning. So black cannot regain the piece. He took the pawn on f6, bishop b5 and bishop f5. Now the rook on e8 is protected, and now both rook b1 and bishop f4 are hanging. But Manish finds another excellent move, rook b to c1, attacking the unprotected bishop on c5. More attacking and counter-attacking in this game. Bishop a3 is another counter-attack, because that now attacks the rook on c1 again. Rook c3, another counter-attack, back on the bishop. And another one, bishop b4. This is a very nice game. And Manish finds another strong move, rook takes c6. That's not really an exchange sacrifice, as we'll see. Because after b takes c6, there's bishop takes c6 with a fork on both rooks. The point is, white will win the exchange back because of the bishop fork, and black still cannot take on f4. Because if he takes on f4, there is rook takes e8 check, rook takes, bishop takes, and now that the smoke is cleared, white still has his extra piece. So after bishop takes c6, what to do for black? He played rook e to d8. Manish has to win the exchange back that he has sacrificed. Rook takes and bishop g3. And finally, 8 moves after that bishop was attacked with e6, e5, does white save the bishop. We don't see that a lot. Very nice play from Manish. e4 from black, and now white has to deal with the next problem. Knight f3 is attacked, which is defending the knight on d2, which is attacked by the bishop. So black is once again threatening to win his piece back. But there is a way out, and once again it is a counter-attack. And Manish found it. Knight d4 counter-attacks the unprotected bishop on f5. So bishop g4, and now bishop f4 is the best move here, with a nice advantage for white. He has a piece for 2 pawns, and all his pieces are nicely, actively positioned and are coordinating well. So bishop f4 is the best move here. Manish played knight 4 to b3. a5, with an idea of a4, and then his knight will have to play, and that means that this knight will then be unprotected again. Manish played f3, bishop dropped back to f5, and Manish took on e4. D takes, rook f1, attacking the bishop, bishop dropped back to g6, and knight c4. So far, Manish has played an amazing game of chess against a player rated almost 600 points above him. Really impressive play. a4. And now knight d4 is the best move. Manish went to d2 instead. And that is not a very fortunate square for the knight, because now black could have played e3. Attacking that knight, knight f3, and then e2. And black is better in this position. To quote the great Aaron Nimzowitsch, he said, "The passed pawn is a criminal who must be kept under lock and key." And this passed pawn gives a lot of compensation for the material that black is down. Black is better here, as I said. But after knight b d2, black did not play e3, he played bishop c5. And that's not a good move. Here Manish can keep everything together with bishop f2, keeping the passed pawn under control, under lock and key, by controlling the e3 square. But after bishop c5 check, Manish did not play bishop f2, he played king h1, and that's not a good move, because now there is e3 again. The knight went to f3, and now e2 is the best move, and the pawn gives black compensation for the material deficit. But black did not play e2, he played bishop d3, looks like a good move. Forking 2 pieces, is black going to win a piece? No, there is a way out for white. And that's rook c1. Saving the rook and protecting the knight. And now e2 was played, but this is not the right time to push the pawn as there's a tactical problem with it. And Manish finds it. He played knight b2, exclamation mark. Attacking 2 pieces. White wins another piece, right? No. There is another counter-attack possible, and that is bishop a3. Counter-attacking the knight. But Manish could have taken on d3 anyway. And after bishop takes c1, knight takes c1, white is a winning position with 3 pieces for the rook. And the square on e1 is well protected by white. So in this position, knight takes d3 is the move. Manish played rook c3, also looks good. Attacking both bishops again. This is a fantastically rich game of chess. Black should have taken on b2, rook takes d3, and white is better here. But the game is going on. Black made a very strange mistake here. He played bishop e4, and that is just dropping a piece. It's dropping the bishop on a3, and Manish took it. Rook d8. Black is 2 pieces down, and his only asset left is the e2 pawn. That's all white has to worry about. Make sure that pawn is kept on a lock and key. Then Manish will win this game with his extra material. He's 2 pieces up. And time was starting to run low. Manish even has time to take on a4. Pick up another pawn. Rook d1 check. Yes, that looks very dangerous, but it is not really. Knight e1 with a clearly winning position for white. Black cannot promote with a white piece on e1, which is well covered by the bishop. Nothing to play for. White will win, for example, with his a-pawn. But in this position, Manish panicked. Under heavy time pressure, he took the rook, and that is a big blunder, because of course now black queened. He takes d1 queen with check. Not only does black have a new queen, he also immediately wins the bishop on a4 because of the fork. What a pity. One more move and Manish would have won this game. Bishop e1 to shield the check, queen takes a4, and the dream is over. Manish played a fantastic game, but unfortunately was not able to put a cherry on the cake. He only needed one more accurate move, but didn't find it. King g1, I will show you the remaining moves. They don't require any commentary. Bishop takes f3, g takes, there goes another pawn. It's just queen against bishop. King f1, f5, bishop f2, h5, king g2, it doesn't really matter. I will just show you the moves. King g6. More moves were played under terrible time pressure. Maybe the only reason that Manish played on was because black must have been under terrible time pressure as well. A race to the line. And after queen takes f3, Manish overstepped the time limit and the engine gives checkmate in 6 moves. Well played, Manish. What a game this was. You played so well and almost beat his opponent with 600 points more than you. I commend you for sending in this game. It was a very rich game, really a good game to send in and analyze for the Chess to Impress channel. Not many viewers send in their losses, so I commend you for that as well. It was a great game of chess, you should be proud of it, and it is just a pity that you were not able to bring the point home, because you really deserved it. Thank you, Manish, and well played. And this is the position in our game, myself with the white pieces against the Chess to Impress viewers with the black pieces. For the last 30 weeks we have made 1 move per week. on Sunday after the viewers' game. Last Sunday I took your bishop on c8 with my queen from c5 and it was your turn. Let's see what you came up with. 26 viewers submitted a move. 6 players wanted to move the rook from d6 to b6. 4 people wanted to play the queen back to e7. Rook d7 got 2 votes, as did queen f6 and queen d4. 1 vote for rook f6 and a cheeky draw offer also was made once. But 8 viewers decided it was enough. Being 2 central pawns down does not give black a lot of hope in a correspondence game. And those 8 players resigned, which was the majority vote. So after 30 weeks our game is over. So this is the final position of our game. I want to thank you for the game. I want to thank everybody who took part in this game. It was a bit of an experiment. Some people were not really happy with it. They felt that the voting is not the best way to conduct a game like this, and they're probably right. But it was very nice to see that some people really got into the game and there were some interesting discussions happening. The final position is indeed very much better for white. I put on the engine and the engine gives +4. So it does make sense to call this game a day. In a correspondence game there's not really much for black to hope for. He does not have any compensation for the 2 central pawns and he's down. And I promised I would raffle a chess book amongst the viewers who have taken part in this game. My sponsor, the Beste Z, has given me a few copies of The Mating Game, a book written by Jovanka Huska, International Master, and James Essinger. And I did a raffle, and it is William Squires who came out of the hat and will receive The Mating Game. And I will send a second book, another copy of The Mating Game, to Jack Rearun. Jack was the driving force behind this viewer's game. He put a lot of time, energy and passion into the game, and it was really nice to see. So Jack, I will send you a book as well for all your enthusiastic contributions and for being the driving force behind this experiment. Thank you everybody, and William and Jack, please send me your home address by email to classroomchess64@gmail.com. Then I will put the book in the post to you. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel and please leave a comment. I will read them all and I will reply to them all. If you would like your game to be analyzed on Chess to Impress, you can send it to me by email to classroomchess64@gmail.com. If you like this video, if you like this series of the viewers' games, then please share it on social media by clicking the share button on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter and on Facebook. This is Rick for Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.